American Pickers host Mike Wolfe fought back tears on Sunday, April 27th, as he locked the doors of Antique Archaeology Nashville for the last time.
Overnight, a $1 million empire collapsed. The iconic store was forced to close permanently, and the companion attached for 4 decades passed away in solitude.
Everything I'm looking at here for sale, or
a lot of stuff is for sale.
Frank Fritz from the History Channel's reality series American Pickers has died.
What is truly happening to Mike Wolfe, the brightest star of American Pickers' millions of viewers, once believed they were watching an authentic adventure across the rural areas of America? But behind the smiling footage on television lies an untold dark side, expensive divorce lawsuits swallowing millions of dollars.
TMZ reported on July 8th that she filed for divorce from the reality star. After almost a decade of married life together, Jodi cited irreconcilable differences,
cruel accusations of betrayal, and the risk of wiping out an entire legacy. Today, we will turn over every single page of the shocking truth behind that glamour. In the early period of 2025, the iconic store named Antique Archaeology, located in the city of Nashville in Tennessee, unexpectedly was forced to completely cease operations to the public's astonishment.
After 15 years in the heart of Music City, the television star said goodbye to customers, neighbors, and staff who turned the rustic shop into a tourist landmark.
The main reason announced by the management originated from a dangerous gas leak incident arising from major construction projects taking place right next door, completely beyond the control of the store's operating team. This sudden incident immediately blew up a wave of deep panic within the loyal audience community of American Pickers people, who traditionally regarded this place as a pilgrimage sanctuary whenever visiting the city. Not stopping only at the thorny technical incident at the physical store, heavy financial pressure combined with a significant decline in television viewership throughout the past period has pushed the American Pickers program into an unprecedentedly critical predicament. Viewership ratings noticeably decreased through each broadcast season compared to the previous golden era, creating a premise for false rumors to spread at a dizzying speed across cyberspace regarding the show being about to be permanently terminated by the network. The peak of this information chaos occurred when veteran crew member Danielle Colby unexpectedly posted a short video hinting and declaring that the show had truly reached its end, dealing a powerful blow to the psychological state of millions of fans nationwide.
So finally, we have that open. And I just found out that American Pickers is done.
Facing the fierce wave of criticism and chaotic information directly threatening the reputation built over many decades, Mike Wolfe was forced to take firm legal and media actions aimed at reassuring public opinion. Through his official social media pages, he quickly completely rejected the false rumors regarding the fate of the program, while confirming that the production team is still busy preparing for new season filming schedules across various different states. Sharing about this period full of thorns, Mike Wolfe expressed strong steadfastness through the assertion quoted in People magazine. The journey to search for America's memory has never been a smooth road, and harsh challenges only make our determination even more solid to keep moving forward. To soothe public opinion while simultaneously executing a strategic move to revive his television empire, Mike Wolfe made a landmark decision. This past February, an entirely new spin-off series titled History's Greatest Picks with Mike Wolfe was officially launched onto the television market. This ambitious project focuses on deeply exploring artifacts possessing the greatest historical values ever discovered throughout the past half-century, thereby skillfully expanding the brand's influence beyond the framework of traditional reality television programs. Parallel to activities on the small screen, Mike Wolfe still persistently maintains and develops satellite business models such as the long-distance fashion brand 2 Lanes, or the unique classic car exhibition space named Columbia Motor Alley locally. Although business models strive to operate amidst the turbulence of the times, the deepest hidden cracks do not lie in the marketplace. Instead, erupting from behind the scenes and the multi-million-dollar marriage he spent years painstakingly building. The tragedy of divorce and separation. Back in 2020, longtime co-star Frank Fritz unexpectedly vanished from the broadcast episodes of American Pickers, with official statements pointing to a sharp decline in his health, brought on by a chronic battle with Crohn's disease and a complicated back surgery. Far from being a temporary medical leave, this extended disappearance rapidly exposed a severe and long-simmering fracture in a bond that had spanned more than 4 decades. By July 2021, the tension culminated when Mike Wolfe formally shared via his personal social media channels that Frank would not be returning to the hit series, thereby igniting a bitter public feud that played out across national news outlets. In response to statements made by his former partner, Frank did not hold back his bitter disappointment, openly accusing Mike of completely ghosting him during his darkest moments of physical suffering. During a candid press interview, the ailing star revealed that the two men had completely cut off communication for a full 2 years, a painful silence that persisted even while Frank lay recovering from a high-risk spinal operation. Analyzing the injustice within the program's internal ranks, Frank bluntly accused that the appearance rate and content orientation had been completely distortedly dominated. Sharing with the press, Frank Fritz stated, "Everything leaned completely toward him, 1000%. I was like a backup music member while he was the lead singer. Besides that, issues regarding stimulant control and strict regulations from the network also became factors pushing Frank out of the production crew, closing a journey attached to over 300 episodes." Parallel to the crisis related to his soulmate friend, Mike Wolfe's personal life continued to endure further violent shocks in legal and financial terms. The marriage, lasting nearly a decade between him and wife Jody Faith, officially shattered when they filed for divorce in June 2020, with the reason of irreconcilable conflicts. The legal process concluded in December 2021 by a fierce and costly asset division ruling. According to published court records, Jody Faith received a cash amount valued at over $5.8 million ownership rights to valuable real estates in the states of Tennessee and North Carolina, along with profit sources from American Pickers broadcast royalties and monthly child support payments. Although winning custody of their shared child, who is daughter, Charlie, this multi-million-dollar divorce left a non-insignificant financial and mental scar on the male television star. The greatest tragedy closing this phase came from the debilitated health condition of Frank Fritz. In July 2022, Frank unexpectedly endured a severe stroke, leaving hemiplegia sequelae and having to lie permanently bedridden. Although past discord had once pushed the two apart, the deep bond from their early youth helped them close hatred through a private reconciliation meeting. On September 30th, 2024, Frank Fritz officially passed away at the age of 60 in his hometown. During the final hours of the old friend's life, Mike Wolfe was present by his side to bid farewell. Right after the departure of his companion, Mike posted an emotional memorial line on social media, calling Frank a dreamer with a sensitive and humorous soul, closing a painful but affectionate chapter in his professional life. Closing that painful and full of affection chapter seemed like it would bring a peaceful lull for Mike Wolfe. Nonetheless, storms never agreed to stop. Right as he continued his career rotation, a series of commercial dark corners, suspicions of television script staging, along with a fierce wave of community outrage began to be exposed, pushing him into the center point of the fiercest controversies. Turbulent scandals. In 2016, one of the biggest scandals broke out with the broadcast episode titled "Shelby in the Barn." In this episode, Mike Wolfe, along with associate John Salley, conducted a search trip in the state of Alabama and unexpectedly discovered an extremely rare vintage sports car named the 1967 Shelby Mustang GT500, rumored to have lain covered in dust inside a warehouse for over 40 years. Nonetheless, the overly perfect and convenient appearance of a vehicle with huge commercial value right in front of the camera lens immediately encountered fierce skepticism from netizens on social media platforms. Many viewers pointed out that the program's production team had conducted surveys and arranged locations beforehand aimed at creating dramatic scripts to attract viewership quantity, turning an original reality television program into blatantly staged footage. Not only getting entangled in questions about authenticity on television, Mike Wolfe's commercial business models also repeatedly raised big question marks regarding professional ethical reputation. In 2022, the antique archaeology store faced a wave of customer outrage after a buyer submitted a complaint form to the Better Business Bureau. This customer accused the store of arbitrarily canceling an online order that had been confirmed for payment and refunding without giving any satisfactory explanation, with the suspicion of making room for another buyer offering a higher price level. Facing pressure from public opinion, store representatives spoke out to clear themselves by stating that the incident stemmed from a technical error arising on January 21st, when the online system allowed two customers to buy the same product within the same short period of time. Besides that, retail activities of the store also continuously endured complaints regarding overly expensive prices for ordinary souvenir items, such as old signs priced up to $900, or personally branded socks priced at $18, even though annual revenue of the store maintained at around $900,000. Nonetheless, the peak of the community outrage wave originated from Mike Wolfe's real estate investment projects and urban renovation activities in the city of Columbia, in the state of Tennessee. Beginning from 2022, he spent $700,000 to own a house carrying historical value here, while pouring in more than $1 million to renovate it according to the original design. Not stopping there, he continued to acquire many other real estates, including the Two Lanes Resort House and the bicycle store aimed at stimulating local commercial business. These efforts encountered fierce opposition from a segment of indigenous residents who accused his massive investment activities of directly sparking the wave of urban upgrade, leading to skyrocketing residential real estate prices. These concerns became even more severe when the plan to construct a 6-story apartment project worth $9.83 million was revealed, making many residents fear that the historical identity of the small town would vanish and they would be pushed out to the margins of their very own community. Responding back to these criticisms, Mike Wolfe still steadfastly defended his personal viewpoint, arguing that his projects aimed at preserving historical structures and creating economic development momentum for rural regions, creating an endless debate about the fragile boundary between cultural preservation and urban commercialization. Facing countless controversies, criticisms, and overwhelming pressures today, to understand the fierce vitality of an antique hunting empire, we must turn back the clock to an impoverished corner of the American Midwest, where a 6-year-old boy once started his life-changing journey from discarded piles of scrap metal along the roadside. The destined scavenger boy. On June 11, 1964, Mike Wolfe was born in the city of Joliet, in the state of Illinois. In his early years of life, due to fluctuating family economic conditions, the family decided to move and settle in the city of Bettendorf, in the state of Iowa. Family circumstances during this period faced severe financial pressures. After family vicissitudes occurred, single mother Rita single-handedly shouldered the entire labor responsibility to raise 3 children, including Mike, Beth, and Robbie. The meager income from ordinary jobs made basic material needs and new toys become a luxury for the Wolfe siblings. The turning point shaping his entire career mindset took place in 1970, the time when Mike Wolfe turned 6 years old. During a time moving through an area of thickly grown weeds behind a neighbor's housing area, he discovered a long-seat-style bicycle discarded and rolling around in a heavily damaged condition with rusted components and total degradation. He directly dragged the bicycle home, using primitive tools to scrub the frame structure, pump up the tire system, and restore the basic operating state. After completing the manual repair process, the bicycle was resold to another individual with a direct cash collection price of $5. This event created an important psychological turning point, forming the initial commercial mindset based on exploiting surplus value from social scrap sources. From the first bicycle event, the activity of searching, collecting, and recycling scrap gradually became Mike Wolfe's daily routine. Noticing her son's persistence, meticulousness, and unusual passion for old objects, Mother Rita officially permitted Mike to use the family garage area space as a permanent workshop. The small garage space quickly became a gathering place for old mechanical components, serving the process of self-learning restoration skills and manual material polishing. The scale of operations at the family garage workshop gradually expanded when Mike began accessing types of antique wooden furniture, historical motorcycle components, and civil decorative items. Experience accumulated from manual restoration work helped him step by step build a practical professional foundation regarding evaluating the age and actual value of each collected item type. Based on accumulated resources and the catalog of fully restored items, Mike Wolfe officially proceeded to open a specialized bicycle store, locally marking the first shift from a spontaneous model to professional commercial business. But the establishment of the first antique store was merely a stepping stone for a much bigger, risky gamble, bringing treasure-hunting road trips along highways onto the small screen, sparking a television craze sweeping globally. A global phenomenon named American Pickers. In 2000, after years of accumulating practical experience from trading secondhand goods, Mike Wolfe officially transformed his personal hobby into a scaled commercial business activity by establishing the Antique Archaeology Store in the town of LeClaire, in the state of Iowa. The store space quickly became a gathering spot for unique antiques harvested from exploration journeys deep into remote rural areas. During this period, he closely collaborated with old high school classmate Frank Fritz, who jointly possessed an intense passion for antique toys, mechanical equipment, and household collectibles. The similarity in childhood family circumstances, along with keenness in evaluating item values, created a natural bond between the two individuals, shaping a solid foundation for the birth of an iconic cooperative model later on. From the foundation of practical work in rural regions, Mike Wolfe began harboring the idea of conveying the artifact hunting journey onto the small screen through self-filmed documentary videos, faithfully recording the negotiation process and treasure discovery. When explaining the core motivation of this idea, Mike Wolfe once shared the perspective: "We are not just going around buying and selling old goods, we are historians on the highways." Nonetheless, the late 2000s witnessed a grueling, deadlocked journey as he continuously brought manuscripts and documentary footage to knock on doors across large and small television networks. Most producers refused to cooperate because they argued that the topic of two men driving trucks to collect scrap items was not attractive enough for a large mass audience. Regardless of the continuous rejections from broadcasting units, Mike Wolfe firmly refused to give up his goal. The persistent endurance, lasting 5 grueling years, finally reached a turning point in 2009 when History Channel executives recognized special commercial potential from this idea and decided to approve the official reality television program production project. January 18, 2010, marked a historical milestone when the first broadcast episode of the American Pickers program officially debuted to audiences on cable television. The results obtained exceeded all initial predictions from the network, when the opening episode attracted a gigantic audience reaching up to 3.1 million direct viewers. Statistical data from Variety magazine recorded this as the most successful launch in the history of the History Channel since the broadcast time of the Ice Road Truckers program. Within just the next few weeks, viewership ratings continued to climb strongly, hitting the milestone of nearly 4 million regular viewers watching every week. This resounding success propelled the names of Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz to rise to the position of top reality television stars of America, completely redefining the way of exploiting historical content on commercial television waves. The gigantic attraction from the program created direct motivation, helping Mike Wolfe expand business scale into new fields. In the subsequent phase, he officially opened the second branch of antique archaeology in the city of Nashville in the state of Tennessee, placing its location inside a comprehensively restored old automobile manufacturing plant. Besides the physical store system, he continued developing the fashion brand inspired by long-distance trips named 2 Lanes, while simultaneously publishing the children's guidebook series named Kid Pickers, aimed at encouraging the young generation to learn history through collecting artifacts. Not stopping at personal commercial activities, he closely collaborated with the National Trust for Historic Preservation to deploy the architectural preservation campaign This Place Matters, typically being the purchase and restoration of the Chevrolet car dealership building, constructed in 1947 in LeClaire, to turn it into a retail business space, while still keeping the original architectural historical value intact. The journey from a boy picking up scrap items by the roadside until rising to become a global symbol of the American Pickers program is a story full of ups and downs, glory, and tear-filled losses. Experiencing multi-million-dollar divorces, the tragedy of separation from soulmate friend Frank Fritz, until crisis pressures, and the wave of innovation. In 2026, Mike Wolfe has proven the resilient grit of someone who dedicated his entire life to preserving America's historical pieces. Although ahead, there are still many challenges and controversies, the flame of his treasure-hunting passion has never extinguished. If you feel this story is engaging and want to continue exploring interesting hidden corners behind famous figures, do not hesitate to hit the like button, share this video with friends, and click subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the latest contents. Hello, and see you again in subsequent videos.